Also, we're gonna do an unboxing, which I already started unboxing stuff. It was wrapped really well. What we're doing today is we are installing, this is the cat water separator. Okay, and this will be a cat fuel filter. There you go. This is the part numbers for both. That way you can price check those. Okay, and this is the actual plate that goes in a factory mounting position, and you get to you actually remove the factory, the factory fuel filter head, and you actually get to split the function, which in my opinion is much more efficient. Also, I do believe we are running much more efficient fuel filter in terms of micron opposed to the factory filter. So what we're looking at is it is a black market performance fuel filtration system for an L5P Duramax, and this is the plate, and this is two filters that comes in the kit, and you're gonna install the factory heating element in top. It should slide right in there. Let's see if there's anything else in the kit. Yep, that's it. I knew it. That's gonna be a decal for the cool parts, and I've also got O-rings and a few washers and bolts. I assume this will be for the heating element. So anyway, so this is where we at with this thing. I'm gonna put it together, make sure everything looks good. I went with this setup because I do believe that separating the function, the water separation as well as the fuel filtration, that should be separate. That jack of all trades doesn't usually work as well as a separate system setup. Okay, so I just want to also mention that we are looking at a much easier filter replacement versus the the socket. I never replaced. I just got my L5P, and I usually, every time I get a new car or truck, I usually replace all the filters, all the fluids, and just address things as I go. And I think this setup is very nice. I know there's also a couple other things on the market. I think it's VSC as well as fast performance. I went with this one just because I just love how everything looks and put together, and customer service was great as well. The guy, I think his name is Adam, was very responsive. So let me take a few pictures for y'all, and I'm gonna get under the truck, look everything over, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, fellas, so as I mentioned before, I have not changed the fuel filter on this truck. I just got this truck a couple of weeks ago. It's about the last filter I would like to address on this. So what I'm looking at currently is I got it's probably a feed line right here. It's going to be another plastic line in the back with the same connector. So ideally, I assume I'm going to push that green piece out, and it should probably slide out ideally. Then after that, was going to take a shower, which kind of works out because I ain't had a shower since Thursday. And what I'm looking at this point, it's going to be dripping everywhere, and there's going to be, okay, so there's probably a 10. I cannot see, but just feels, no, it's actually probably a 13 or 12, whichever. So there's going to be two symmetrical bolts back there, and I don't know if this is related, but we probably might have to take this off as well. Well, actually, no, I don't think so. I do not think so. Only thing is going to be a couple bolts on top. Give me one right here and one a little further down. Let me shine the light on it. Okay, and there is a plug that goes to the factory heater, which we're gonna remove. So it should be, hopefully it's gonna be an easy peasy job. I'll be back with you in just a minute once I get all the tools, and I'll show you step by step. Okay, so this is the way this connector works. You gotta pull this towards itself and then push it up, and this comes up. It's going to be the same way. I'm actually debating, well, yeah, that should do. I'm going to use a little pig tool in there and just kind of lift it up, but I think I got it all the way up, so it's probably going to come off now. Yes, I'm pretty sure if I pull it off, I'm gonna make some room under here so I don't get drenched in all the diesel fuel. So I got the ratcheting wrench here for those top bolts housing bolts. They are 13 millimeter. I got my drain pan, and I already got them loose. You just pretty much reach out there, and they're very easy to get them off from the bracket. So I got both of them loose. I'm gonna probably get one completely out, the outer one, the one that's hard to get to, and I'm gonna disconnect the lines at this point and let it drip, and all the fuel, whatever the fuel is in there, run out. When I'm changing filters on my LBZ lift pump, it actually, the diesel fuel runs out for a long minute, so it's probably gonna be the same. Here's the 13 that goes on out there. So okay, so long story short, I'm gonna give it a light try right here. See, okay, I think that green clip is all the way out, so we're about to, okay, it's off. We're gonna see what happens. There she is. Okay. So yeah, the fuel is kind of running. I'm gonna let it sit and drip for a few minutes, and I will undo the second line. And as of right now, it's not bad. It's not that much fuel coming out. So it's actually, you see, it's almost out. Yeah. So yeah, so I'm gonna undo the other fuel line and see what happens. And at this point, I'll be ready to remove the housing completely. Okay, so I got both fuel lines loose. This one comes off identical to this line, and there's no actual, I mean, it's just dripped a little bit, a few drops, but I do not see anything super. There's not much fuel coming out really. So I'm gonna loosen the last screw, which is last 13, and pretty much I'm gonna undo the connector, and we'll be coming out with this housing, which is again super easy. So far everything is super easy. All right, so I got the housing off. The plug was just pretty much squeeze or a pinch plug. Top part of the plug stays there. It's dripping a little bit, but again, I mean, it's nothing compared to the lift pump filter. It's just pouring out. So at this point we're done. I got a rag. I'm gonna wrap this up with a rag, and I'm gonna take it to the tailgate, and we're gonna transfer this heat element that's held down to the filter housing by those 3 torque screws. We're gonna take those loose, we're gonna take it out, and we're gonna move it to the new assembly, and then we're pretty much gonna put it all together back up, and we'll be done. Should be, so far I'm very impressed. Very easy. Super easy. So now we're taking those T30 screws out. They want to hold the heating element inside the filter canister. So I'll get this out of the way. I'll remove that center piece. It should slide out just basically, and I'll be right back with you once we're ready to install into the new house. So this is basically what we're gonna be looking at, is this filtration. I think it's a heating element, and it slides right inside this this housing right on top, and only goes in one way, which I'm gonna see which way it goes. I just have to see. So I'm gonna clean all that crud and debris off and rinse it off really quick, maybe some brake cleaner, and then I will use new O-ring on top, and I'm just gonna install it. Okay, so we need to remove this, the bottom O-ring completely, just get rid of it. We're gonna install this provided O-ring right there on top. Then we're gonna I'm gonna use some diesel fuel and just lube this O-ring and that O-ring, and I'm also gonna lube inside right here, as well as where the middle O-ring gonna slide into. So then it installs this way, so the plug is facing this corner, and then we're gonna bolt it up with those the hardware that they provided right here. Yes, that's it. Yes sir. All right, so we're going to use these 3 bolts and just screw it down. So I just want to sum it up and just kind of briefly show you what I'm working with at this point. So I got the heating element installed. It's just 3 11 millimeter or 7/16 bolts. I think it tightened to 20 Newton meters. We got 2 filters here, and what makes this system, I believe, better than factory, from what I see, it makes sense. We got separate filtration, the water filtration, which is I think 11 micron, and the fuel filtration, which is 2 micron rating. Then the filter, how easy it is, you just pretty much get under the truck, unscrew the filter and swap out the filter, and you're done. The filter cost, these filters, they run about 14-15 bucks. I think I saw a couple of them on Amazon around $16 or whatnot. I replace my fuel filters usually every 3 oil changes, so about once a year. And here comes the guy on the lawnmower. Okay, so usually I replace the water separator every year and a half, couple of years, and I drain it every oil change. The system itself is super easy to install. Overall, I like the cost. I think in just filter, in time and cost on the filters, you're gonna probably save money over a couple of years. You're gonna pay for itself probably. So another thing to keep in mind is your time. You just get another truck, take it off, throw the new filter on, you're done, instead of draining, replacing, and just laying on the truck for a minute. In my opinion, this is very fuel efficient setup. I love separate function. I don't like one thing doing dual function, which is a factory filtration setup, the way it's set up. Overall, I love everything so far. Is very easy. All I gotta do is just pretty much bolt it up to the factory bracket, and we are done with the install. I'm gonna be back on the truck in just a minute. It's getting kind of hot here. I'll show you the final results, and we will see what happens. Thank you. Okay, so this pretty much concludes the install. I want to give a heads up how to make it easier. It's my light flashing. It's how to make it easier to install. So once you get the housing in here, I recommend you connect the lines first before you tighten any bolts. You connect the lines first, you snap them in, you get those the green and blue snaps in. Then you finger tighten the bolt, the outer bolt right here, the top bolt, and then the last one would be this bolt right here. This would get the lines and everything all together. So I just turned the truck on, in the put the key in the position 3, just to let the tank pump and get those filters full. Just make sure to confirm there's no leaks and no everything is dry, and obviously it does look pretty good. I'm going to drive the truck, test drive it, make sure everything is good. But this is pretty much it. It's super easy install. No mess. I was surprised that just barely any diesel coming out. So this is it. All bolts up in factory location. There's bolts over there. Everything plugs up. Super nice, super easy. I'm sure. Yeah, I believe it's a nice upgrade. It's worth it. So I want to mention the purpose of this is probably the faster and cheaper fuel filter changes. This fuel filter is about 15 bucks opposed to 40 or however much the factory filter is. You get a separate filtration. It's better filtration. It's a 2 micron and 11 micron with a water separator, and I think each filter got its separate function. This is for debris and impurities in the fuel, and this is the actual water. So you win a lot, and I think it's gonna pay for itself in about a year or so. And just do your maintenance, guys. That's all I can say. Again, shout out to Adam at Black Market Performance. Very nice. Customer service is top. The setup is good. I'm very happy with it. It's very nice overall. Very nice setup.